Hello everyone and welcome to this episode of Leadnap Gaming. This week we're headed back to our updated fleet planning series with the intention to talk about all you need to run salvage operations. A few weeks ago, we launched into issues with exploration fleets, and in the end, diving into really the issues with exploration in general. This time around, we're in a spot that's really exciting, because we finally have a chance to dig in on a game loop that's been long awaited. Salvage. Again, the intention of these videos is to help players, you, determine what sorts of ships you might need to run a successful and profitable operation in a given game loop. Salvage is exciting because it has important money-making opportunities beyond just the simple explore and rummage. In short, you won't have to be a junkyard operator. Okay, lad, we get it, but how hard could salvage fleets really be to picture? Well, that's the thing. It appears simple, but we're going to open some doors today to guide you in some critical thought. Ahead of the ships, though, we have to remember that we're only getting level 1 salvage here in the near future. That doesn't just mean the lasers we were told a long time ago wouldn't be, but that there's a number of considerations outside the general scope of what we have seen. This salvage is basic hull scraping. It's the lowly stuff that doesn't require a great deal of skill, something I have complained about with mining for a while now. This is the perfect entry profession for someone looking to blow off some steam after work, and for someone who's more focused on finding rather than exploiting. Which also means the Vulture is your best friend. I think this is a great solo ship. It's easy game loop, good money generation, all in one. If that gameplay sounds good to you, buy a Vulture, you have everything you need. I know it would be easy here to want to branch out, start thinking of Orgops with multiple Vultures, a Herc to haul the goods, and so forth, but that just isn't practical, nor profitable. The Vulture, and hull stripping in general, are like hand mining. Profitable, certainly, but not the path to getting on the Space Forbes Top 100. Any player looking to specialize in anything that isn't salvage can stop at just the Vulture. Yes, I said not looking to specialize in salvage, because what I mean here is for, say, the combat main who needs a little side hustle and something to do when you've had a long day and need a break from the usual. If you intend to be a solo tradesman, the Vulture is still a solid and perhaps the only real option for now, but I also don't think that that'll be such a strong professional choice. Again, I liken hull scraping to hand mining. Little investment in, not a major return on investment out. Later iterations of salvage will incorporate other ways to generate material from wreckage. Real-life recycling programs generally don't even break even. Level 1 salvage here is like recycling aluminum cans. If you instead salvaged the precious metals from old circuit boards, you'd make buckets of money, but you need special equipment to do so. Thus, you could build an org fleet of 10 Vultures and plan to output their output to a Herc to fly back for sale purposes, having the Vultures descend on the next wreck in the process like, well, the name says it all, right? However, the same real or in-game cost of doing so could net you a Reclaimer, capable of all types of future salvage and thus more profitable by a long shot. At the end of the day, your goal should be to hull scrape only what otherwise cannot be salvaged by other more profitable means. Salvage is a perfect example of how things should be, and what is wrong with exploration ships in general. By having a larger, harder to utilize ship that requires a crew, you gain more ability to make better money. Fret not, Vulture owners, if Reclaimers went after the wrecks you will scrape, they'd lose money. It's no different than a pack of wolves chasing a hare. The energy consumed to achieve such little reward isn't worth the while. Well, a single fox, on the other hand, benefits adequately with the same prey. Will CIG introduce additional salvage ships? Certainly. As each iteration of salvage is introduced, new ships capable of this single iteration are sure to follow. Today, we cannot properly plan what fleets utilizing those ships should be, but I also don't think any of them would be optimal either. In all honesty, CIG could, and in my opinion should, resist the urge to add these ships. Frankly, if your sole intention is salvage, the Reclaimer is king. It does it all with the least overhead. Additional ships to max out what the Reclaimer can do increase overhead, and anyone who runs a real scrape operation would tell you the margins are tight. The Reclaimer represents an easier time in Star Citizen, but more importantly an industrial truth too. Small manpower, major space to store, break down, and refine materials. Everything you need, nothing you don't. And short of cleaning up a major battle, which is unlikely to have the debris field like the Borg left a fleet of such ships, it makes little sense to use more than one ship. I say the Vulture and Reclaimer are all salvage needs ship-wise because there's only a handful of trash truck designs in the world. This is a straightforward game loop, and aside from perhaps a middle-of-the-spectrum ship, the dev time should really go to other ships entering the verse. CIG could offer us variations of the Reclaimer, a Crusader version for example, but at the end of the day, it makes sense to me that functionally it wouldn't make a difference which you had beyond cosmetics. In an odd way, salvagers will live the exploration life so many of us imagined enjoying as explorers. You'll spend countless hours searching out wrecks, harvesting them, and moving on until you have to return either to sell or restock. That playstyle, like exploration, best utilizes a single ship. Don't panic just yet, major orgs and players dreaming of a salvage empire. There's empires to build with salvage, just not the ones you initially think of. Salvage players instead should look to diversify into the repair fleet. Your ability to hull scrape and, in the future, harvest electronics, fuels, so on and so forth, will play a vital role tied to the repair fleet any major battle group must be followed by. This is because it is far too impractical for the repair ships to bring all the materials with them. In fact, it would require warehouse ships, which are added fuel, crew. You get it. Vultures with Vulcans, on the other hand, can ensure the most ships return home from the battle to fight another day, even if the repairs are more temporary just to get them back to safety. Later additions CIG gives us in the salvage field will continue to boost these fleets in ability as well. It is in fact the reason I feel confident the Borg debris field I spoke about a moment ago won't exist as the result of player battles. Certainly large battles will occasionally be fought in Star Citizen, but the combatants can be expected to repair as much of their fleet as possible, which in turn means that by the time the scavengers arrive, most of the material will have already been harvested to bring the fleet home. So what does this mean as far as fleet planning then? If you're looking for more PvE salvage, looking for wrecks, harvesting them, selling for profit, rinse and repeat, the Reclaimer is your best option, running a Vulture for now either to get release started or enjoy the loops in alpha. If you intend to be more involved with the PvP elements, combine salvage ships with repair ships. Don't be afraid to be the middleman. From a real cash perspective, I love the Vulture. Spend there, work towards the Reclaimer in-game. Buy whatever ships down the line CIG gives us in the process with UEC. Clear as mud? Let me know down in the comments what manufacturer you want to see a Reclaimer competitor from. Make sure to like and share this with your industrious Star Citizen friends, subscribe if you haven't, and I will catch you all next time.